Okay, I'm trying to get the energy for this video. I'm trying. I want to come on here and I want to talk about something. It started as a silly little conversation on social media, and most things are silly little conversations. And they often, I don't know, make me. Of course, my fridge wants to do this now, but it's fine. I want to talk about what's going on right now, and the goal for this video here is to think of the bigger picture in the situation, because it's silly. First, before I even start talking about it, I just want to say this is such a first world thing, and it really is. But it made me think deeper of how people work. I'm into that whole psychology thing, sociology, how people work, how people talk. I'm into that. As I get older, I just feel like people are so predictable. But what always kind of amazes me is how blind people are. How people are hypocritical. And including maybe myself too. Yeah, probably myself, yeah. But how people are so hypocritical, they'll come at something and be like, I hate that this is happening, but then they'll in their own lives do the same thing to other people. But the weird thing is to see how it comes around as a circle. It really does kind of sneak in. There's a lot of situations I could talk about on this, but the things that we complain about in life, like bullying, not feeling accepted, treating people they love wrong, everything that we deal with as people, we can obviously see that it's wrong, and we can look at it and say, I would never want to do that. I would never want that to be around me in my life. But then in the same breath, do the same thing. I'm online enough. I'm probably chronically online myself. And so I see I'm really into pop culture. I love music. So just naturally, I get all the drama about new artists coming up, and I love to see people's come ups, and I love to see artists who have been around. I love to see their stories. I love to see how they became the person that they are. Just seeing how we'll go ahead and come at a new artist for the way that she's doing things, and then we'll compare them to a person that's been around for a long time and see this person wouldn't do that, or no, this person's good but this person's bad. But we'll look back 20 years ago or 10 years ago and see that when that person that we all admire now, we see that when they were coming up, they were also getting the same hate the artist that's currently coming up is getting. And I just think it's weird because we're so blind to it. We'll be a part of a hate train. We just won't understand something, so we'll just see it as bad. And anyways, this is about Spotify. What the hell? This is about Spotify. It's in the same genre as music. So I think Spotify is actually a topic. And we saw that they changed their logo recently, and it immediately sparked a little mini conversation on social media. I believe some other companies actually acknowledged it. It became a thing. It was Spotify's 20th anniversary for being alive. Apparently Spotify is younger than me, which makes sense, but it also feels weird. But because I'm not even that old, but I don't know. I feel it's been around my whole life, but I'm still older than it. But I didn't really count when I was 3. I wasn't conscious, so it's fine. But yeah, Spotify. I mentioned this is a first world problem. It's so silly. It's so silly. We need things to do. We get bored, so that's why we start TikToking. We trying to find the next topic to jump on. So of course people jump on whatever is going on. And I do think I think there's so much going on that it kind of feels like a breath of fresh air when we're looking at and talking about something light and stupid like a logo. This conversation, I feel really made me think. It didn't really make me think. I'm sure a lot of people see it, but I just wanted to talk about it. About how when this happened, people immediately, it sparked backlash and I would say bullying. And it makes me realize not just that people don't like change. People don't like change. I don't like change either. But we learned to adapt. It's storming outside. Ooh. Wait, I think this is deeper. than people not liking change. So first of all, we had this whole conversation, I feel like recently, where we looked back at like we had nostalgia for how the way the old apps looked, like everything was unique and had pops of color. Hold on, let me look at it real quick. Cause I have the vision in my head, but hold up, where is the apps? Okay, apps from 2000s before minimalism. Minimalism. I also want to say like, also the funny part about this is that it's like, well, it's just weird because when I first saw the app, I was like, oh, interesting. So then I opened the app and I saw that, you know, it was like the 20-year anniversary, and then they had that little wrap of like your favorite artist. Also, what was your favorite artist? I want to know. So I figured it was a temporary thing, but now like it like then it like I saw it all over social media, so I'm like, oh, this must be permanent, and I was kind of like, okay. And then like quickly after that, I was like, okay, I like it. I like Spotify. I like music, and it's the app of my choice. Because there's a lot of music apps. There's not just Spotify and Apple Music. There's a lot of music apps you can use. I like Spotify. I love the Wrapped. I love having all my playlists. It's a huge privilege of mine, in my opinion, to be able to have that app on my phone. I'm one of Spotify's biggest listeners, by the way, with, I forgot, the last 3 years I averaged like 114,000 listening hours. Listening minutes, I think it is. 114 is like what it was. I'll put it up on the screen, but it's insane. I love Spotify. I love music. I'm obsessed. I'm addicted. So that's why this conversation I want to talk about. But yeah, I saw it and I started to embrace it. At first I was kind of like, oh. But like also like as an artist, I feel like things need to be digested. I don't immediately jump like, oh, I dislike this, or even I love this. I let it sit. Like you gotta just like let something sit real quick. Quickly, people are already like making think pieces on how it should be and how it shouldn't be, and oh, it's AI or it's not AI. Just breathe. It just changed. It just changed, and you don't even notice that. Like it's not even sticking around. It's just temporary. But whatever. That's fine. So another point I want to make is it's hard to accept individuality in something we claim as our own and we've given a pedestal. Like I just said, there's so many other music apps, but people kind of have a big two or a big three. I don't know. I think it's just two. But there's some other things. I know there's YouTube Music. They have a little rap thing going on too, but I don't use it. Apple Music or whatever it is, sure, that's cool too. Is it Apple Music? I could be wrong. And then there's Spotify. It's like the big two. It's like the big couple, whatever. Personally, I'm a huge Spotify fan. If you don't have Spotify, we can't share our playlist. So like, what's the point? But yeah, it's hard to accept individuality in something we claim as our own. So Spotify has its own people behind it who are choosing the ideas, and they want to change things up every now and then. And they said, let's add some character. It's our moment to shine. It's been 20 years. Let's change our app for a week, you know? And everyone is like, everyone panics. And it's silly. Everything is so flat nowadays. You know what I mean? Everything is so flat. All the apps are so flat. But you see how everything kind of has to fit in. Whenever people now are making a logo, they have to look at what's already happening, and they kind of have to fit their logo into it, I feel like. And I think that kills so much creativity, and it's unfortunate. I feel like the thing with art, like back in the like before we had social media, everyone had an opinion, everyone had a voice, which is there's good things to that, but also there's obviously going to be downsides to most things. But before everyone can make their opinions be known 24/7, they gave us the apps, they had their icon, and they said, this is what I am and you accept me, because you really don't have any other choices. You take me as I am. I'm McDonald's. I'm silly. I'm fun. I'm represented by a clown. I have fun colors, yellow, red. We appeal to this, but then when you get older, you have to fit in. So you go ahead and you fit in. And I think it's sad. I think it opened my eyes up. Like this, it kind of warmed my heart for a second. Like low key, I was like, I see it. Like we're making a change here. We gotta just to finish my point on we claim it as our own. Most people have Spotify on their phone. Your favorite artist probably has Spotify on their phone. Your friends have Spotify on their phone, so it has to blend in. Because it's on everybody's home screen. So it has to blend in with all the other apps and all my other backgrounds. But when you have that pop there and you stand out, it makes people uncomfortable. It makes people uncomfortable. And I think that's a lesson. Like, first of all, standing out and making people uncomfortable and having people dislike you and having people mock you isn't always a bad thing. It means you're somebody who dared to be different. And honestly, when you do something and then people have, oh my gosh. Woo. When you do something different and then you stand out, people aren't always gonna like it at first. Of course. We've heard all these sayings before, but I think this is just proof to see it in your face. If you see all the messages and the attacking and the you did it well, it was okay, but if you did it this way, then maybe I'd like it better. If I put art out, don't you ever look at my art and say maybe this needs to be sharper. It's not your art, it's mine. So you accept it how it is, or you don't accept it. But because Spotify has already been ours for so long, to change it, it feels like you're changing my thing. This is mine. It's not just yours anymore. But I think with art and creating something for people to enjoy, you have to realize that like it's still that person's art. It's still that person's creation, you know? Yeah, I see an app. I see all that as art. Everything is art. The way that we do things, like Beyonce said, what did she say? I don't even freaking know. The way you walk, the way it's on Renaissance. Oh my gosh. No, I see everything as art. And it made me mad to see that. Oh, the person who created this should be fired just because you didn't see it right away. Or just because you don't like it and it's just not your taste. You think that person should be fired and doing too much. It's just, I don't like it. But when you do change something, I think you need to stick with that. And like with Spotify, they were gonna change it anyway in a week, so whatever. But I hope they keep it, and I hope they just let it sit there. And when you realize that you can put something out, people are gonna kick and scream because they don't want to get rid of Spotify. They still like what you have to offer, so they're not gonna get rid of it. They're gonna be forced to sit with it, and eventually, they're gonna love it. They're gonna love you. They're going to become to love you more and accept you more. Or the few people are going to walk away and be like, okay, you know what? I'm switching over to Apple Music. But if you know what you have to offer has quality, it has... And you have to know that too. Like, you have to... It is raining. You see that storm? Oh my goodness. I like it. But yeah. And then also, we realize... We had all these conversations, but we haven't changed. That's the weird part. People still have pack mentality. It is not, bless me. It is not easy to be a leader, because being a leader is, let's say Spotify kept their logo, which I actually love it now. I like it now. Let's say Spotify kept their logo. And all the brands that tried to copy them, like, whatever, they took their flat logo and they was like, you know what? How about we try something different? And then they're going to probably copy what Spotify did. Next thing you know, we have screens full of colorful apps and everything. That's a leader. So I'm just trying to see, like, how can you, like, apply that in your own life? Like, because it's bigger than that. You know? It's bigger than that. Where in your life are you just following the crowd? Like, I feel like I'm not the kind of person that feels like I have to force myself to be different. Like, if I like something that's like a trend, I like it, I genuinely like it, I'm a hop on it. If I see a trend and I'm like, I'm not gonna be like, oh, I hate that, that's terrible, like whatever. I'm just gonna be like, no, it's not for me, and move on. It is for some people, and if we were all the same, that would be lame. If we all, oh, because all these people like Crocs now. I never got into Crocs. That was a trend, even though I heard that they're really comfortable. I did get into Birkenstocks though for the same reason. People said they were comfortable. I liked how they looked, so I got myself some. My mom doesn't like them, but I like them, and now the trend is gone and past, and I still have them. I hopped on the Stanley trend too. And after a while, I was like, I kind of south at first. Like, I was like, whatever. I mean, you see things in your life. And I was like, I like them Stanleys. They look cute. They keep my water cold. They keep water cold. So let me go get one. I got one. I got a couple actually. Basic Betty. But no. And now we're moving on to like the other water bottle, and I'm still with it. I'm still with my Stanley because I genuinely like it. Like. But then also there's things that I pick up and that I'm not gonna like. I don't want to force myself to be different. That's not authentic. Like, don't do things just to be different, because you have to have confidence in the things you do, because when they do get nitpicked, you have to, if they do get nitpicked, because sometimes people see it like, oh wait, hold up, right away they're like, oh that's nice, but don't let people nitpick what you like and do. So yeah, when you find something and you like something, you stick with it. Do it because you like it. Yeah, we've been saying all this stuff, so I'm saying very generic words, but I'm really trying to push past the point that like we can say the basic, we can say things, but we can still not know how to act them out. We can still not understand how to make a change. So with this whole like app thing, of course, it disguised itself as just a silly trend. It's a silly app. Why should we care? It's not that big of a deal. But I think it sets the tone, because let's say Spotify does like be like, that was terrible. We shouldn't have done that. Then now the next person is going to be scared to do that. Scared to think outside the box and not fit in with everybody else and be flat. I think it actually is bigger than, it's not bigger, but like I just think it opens up a conversation in like a way that opens their minds to how people are and how people think, and it kind of makes me sad. Not like I'm not actually sad about it, but just it made me think enough to where like let me record this video. That's pretty big because I've been trying to record, but I have more points though. People feel like they have the right to fix and change things. Like, there was a lot of people who were looking at it and they're like, you know what, it's okay, but it's this that's off. No, it's this that's off. To make it seem like the problem was them. And it wasn't. It never is. With art is subjective. Art is different. You know what I love about art, and this is a huge thing that I've learned recently, it's not about being perfect. It's about it being what it is that makes it art. I don't even know how to like really put that into words, but let's say I have my paint. Let's take Van Gogh. Let's get on that. Okay, so let's take Van Gogh. Let's say somebody comes and take this Van Gogh art, and you know what? It's like, let me actually, if these lines were a little straighter, or this one was a little curved, and they made it better, quote unquote, they made it more uniform, quote unquote, it wouldn't be this Van Gogh. This one, it wouldn't be the original. It wouldn't be the authentic version of it, And I think there's something so beautiful about the authentic version of things, And that's why we have so much nostalgia in life. We'll look back at the times when we were a kid, and part of me does think that's just, you were a kid, of course everything seemed brighter and happier, but I do think a part of nostalgia, constantly looking back on our lives and seeing, oh, 2 years ago I looked so much happier, and I was in this place, but at the time when you were there, you hated it and you were looking for the next thing, or you were also looking at the past thing. I think we have to learn how to embrace the current moment for what it is, and realize that what we're dealing with right now in our lives, and our friends and our homes and whatever it is an art and an era in itself. I think there's just so much beauty in the ugly and in the beauty of everything. And I wish people stop being so afraid to be authentic to themselves and unique and weird. And I think if you're a type of person if you are critiquing things so heavily because you're seeing someone else try something different, I think that's a sign that you also have those areas in your own life that you're afraid to put things out. Because maybe, and it's not like a hate thing, but like maybe you had a parent who critiqued everything you did, so now you do it when you get older. I was lucky to not have a mom to do that. So that could be part of why I don't know, I don't want to talk about myself too much, but like I feel like I've always been trying to be more open-minded. And I really do follow if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say it at all. And I don't think of it like that way, but like it is how it is. There is times where I do, obviously I'm like, I need to call this thing out. And I think that's normal too, especially with really dark, deep conversations and topics. Some things do need to be called out, but a Spotify logo is not one. Art is not one. Imagine the person who made that logo who was like, this is nice. It's only going up for a week, like, not too much pressure. I'm happy with my art, and they put it out and everyone tore them apart. Not because it was bad, but because it didn't fit in with what they wanted or whatever. I don't like that. I don't like it. And sure, people have to be strong, learn to be strong, but I also wish we can change how we react to things. And things like this creates the need to be perfect the first time. We're afraid to put things out because what if the first image isn't perfect? People are going to critique it or be like, yeah, no, that's not it. Like, oh, the logo, because it was how it was brought down, whatever. It doesn't need to be perfect the first time. It's not the end of the world. You're not going to die. I don't think anyone died because of what happened, of them changing their logo. Yeah, I think it's just really important to sit with things. I hate when an album comes out and it's only been out for 24 hours and people are already putting their think pieces out. And of course they're doing it because they need to catch up with the algorithm. They need to be the first one to make a video. But also, you can't really digest something when it first comes out. You have to sit with things. And I think that's a huge thing for artists and people in general, because we're all artists. Everything we do we is art. The way we walk, the way we talk, like what Beyonce said. I forgot what she said exactly, but yeah. You got to be confident in your own art and material. So when you put it out, people are going to critique you. You have to acknowledge that as well. So yeah, you have to be confident. But I'm about to wrap this up. Art is saying, this is me. You like me or you don't. This is the project. You don't get to fix it. You don't get to decide how it should have been or how it should be or what it isn't or what it is. It is what it is. You put out an album, you put out music. This is what it is. You love it for as it is. If you really love it, you're gonna love it for, yeah. I don't know. Sorry, I'm just talking in circles, but. And then last thing I wrote here, when you have love in your heart, you let things exist as they are and you accept. Hold on. When you have love in your heart, you let things exist as they are and you adapt around it if it is something that you want to adapt around. I can't think of an example for some reason, but I'll obtain something or I'll get something and it's not what I'm used to. Let's say, okay, for example, I have cats. I got cats. And what cats? You need to get cat furniture, you need to get cat toys, you need to get cat litter, you need to get cat whatever. It comes with it. I have to take a second. This is the weird first example I can think of. Even if this is something that is not necessarily I never had like this like cat toy in my house or whatever. I try to, first I look at it, I accept it as it is. Like, this is something that I want to accept. This is something that I'm going to make mine. I'm going to figure out how to adapt this and bring this into my world and make it what it is. Make it beautiful and something that I love. Oh my gosh, that was actually scary. Oh my gosh, I have not jumped like that in a second. Shoot. Anyways, yeah. But no, I love art. I love things. I see beauty in a lot of things, and I try to, and I don't know. I gotta close my window. Let me finish what I'm saying. But yeah, this all sort of a Spotify logo and stuff, but like, I love music. I love pop culture. And I see all this stuff online, so I wanted to talk about it and how it made me think about art in general and the way people react to things. And it makes me sad that, I mean, like I said, I knew they were going to get rid of it. Honestly, I think they're sticking to their roots. They said, hey, we're going to keep this up for a week, and they're still going to keep it up until it's going to be there still, until it's not. But I hope they keep it, because what it sparked was interesting. And yeah, the final note is, where are you in your own life afraid to be different and afraid to stand out and do something different? And yeah, it's something that I'm trying to adapt into my own life, and it's scary. It's really scary, especially when you don't even know like exactly what you want to do, but you know that the standard that is being given to you isn't what you want to do. So you're put in a weird place. Maybe you don't realize that there's limitations that you're having right now and that you're working with that is confusing you, and that's why you're so confused on what to do next in your life. And because what's in the box isn't working for you, but you don't know where to look outside the box, because I don't know. But I think we find ways in just doing things, putting things out, being true to ourselves, being authentic, and yeah. Yeah, sorry. But that's all I want to say. Thank you for watching. Spotify, keep your logo, at least for me, because I like it now, and it's silly. But that's all. Yeah, bye. That thunder was actually crazy. Oh, my name is Takira Moonlight. That's like my social media name. What the hell are you talking about? Takira Moonlight. I chose Moonlight when I was 13. I was like, I loved Ariana Grande's Moonlight song. I was like, okay, I have to make a Snapchat name, Takira Moonlight. And it's still like my Instagram name. But sticking true to yourself. I stick true to myself because it's authentic to me still. And I embrace every age and feature of my life because it's a part of me, and I adapt to it, and it makes me, and I'm thankful for it. Okay, thanks for watching.